Welcome to Learner's Mind, and in this last bit of the Home tab tutorial in Microsoft Office Word, I'd like to show you how we can apply styles. Now I just want to show you one application of styles, and then we are going to move to editing, find, replace, and then select. That's the only thing you should expect from this video, by the way, nothing more. So let me show you how we can apply styles, and I want you to think about something like a menu. Maybe you want something like, if you click on a menu, it should open up, it should drop down into producing like the content of the menu. That's what we're going to do down here. So I want to create some space here from last lesson so that we can continue. So I want to use this heading 1, and then normally I like to say something like trees, for example, and then just below the trees I'm going now to type the name of trees. By the way, I can have something like acacia. I can have another tree like oak. I can have another tree like eucalyptus. Just that. As you can see, you have an arrow comes here. Have an arrow that displays here. If you click on that arrow, then the contents of tree will disappear. When you click on that arrow again, the contents of the tree will appear. I find that useful most of the time when creating something like the menu, which you want only the topics to display. And then when you click on that topic, the subtopics should display, so that when you click on that subtopic, it should run through that document and go exactly where we have that chapter or that subtopic starting from. So just that. Now next, I'd like us to try and use these editing features here where we have find. So I want to click on find, and this is just to confirm if we have anything inside this document. So you'll be given a navigation panel here, a navigation pane. So you can search here anything. I typed oak, so let me see if we have oak. There we have the results. Then we talked about the shopping list, so let me type shop and see. Yes, we get the shopping list from our previous video. So as you can see, you can search and find anything. Actually here, because we have only a small document, it may not be something that is very important for you to search, because you can even just like do it manually. But if you have a list, for example, of people, maybe you've applied for a job, and maybe your friend asks you like, am I shortlisted on the list? Okay, am I shortlisted? And then you're like, let me check. Now, like, you realize the list has over 10,000 names. How are you gonna find out that maybe this person is on the list? So what you're going to do is simply search. Just find. Just click on find and then type in the name. Maybe it's Ariana. Just do that. And there we go. You say, okay, fine, you are on the list. And they're like, oh, thank you. How quick could you have found it like that? You are so sharp, maybe. And then maybe, but you'll just use find. So what about replace? Replace will find and replace. So once you click on replace, you are given this pop-up, and with this pop-up, what we're going to do is actually find what do we want to find? I want to find Ariana. What do you want to replace with? We want to replace with maybe something like Rihanna, something like that. So we have options down here, and I want to explain what each option will do. So we have replace. This one will replace the first instance of Ariana. So the moment it will come upon the first instance of Ariana, replace that with Rihanna and gone. No more. Replace all, as it suggests, it will replace every Ariana instance in our document with Rihanna. Find next will allow you to find every next Ariana, so that you can decide whether you want to replace that or skip that. So it will allow you to go through like one by one. For example, let me just use a simple term here so that I can illustrate exactly. First of all, let us just do a replace and see how it works. Now if we look at what we had here Ariana, and now we want to replace that. So replace Ariana with Rihanna. So find next, we have the first one. Do you want to replace this? Yes, replace that. And there we go. And it says that we finished because there is no any other Rihanna, no any other Ariana in here. So that's okay. But then what if we just wanted to replace everything? Now if you want to do that, we just say replace all. For example, if we had so many of them in our document, you can just replace that. If you've written a novel, for example, and then you have names of people, and then you'd like to change somebody's name in the entire novel. Now you're not going to search through the novel to change each person individually. Every time instance you come across the instance of the name. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come here and then just replace. Type here the name which you want to replace. Type here what you want to replace with, and then just click replace all, and then that's done. On select, we have different types of selections we can do, but I prefer doing it manually. But you can choose to select all, which is Control A. You can select objects, which are just only objects inside your document. Right now I don't have any objects which are in form of maybe pictures, things like that. I don't have any of those, but you can select whatever you'd like. I think that marks the end of this short video, maybe just to give you a summary of what we have done. So we began by using the clipboard and the font, and through that we learned several things here of copying, pasting, and using this format painting. Maybe let me just review that. For example, if I applied something here, like for example I made this I increased the font size, then I changed it to uppercase, and then I made the text look like something like this color, and then I want to copy exactly this formatting, not the text themselves but the formatting. If I want to change this formatting to something else, then that's what I'm going to do. You just highlight any part of that document, then use the format painter, and there you go, apply on that, and there we go, we have our format that was here has been copied here. And as you can realize, changing case did not work on this one. Changing case is not recognized by this function of the format, this function format painter here. I don't think if there is anything else that we've left out. Okay, something else that may be a little bit tricky, or maybe just shortcuts now, is that if you want to make something bold, then just use Control B. Like if I want to make the entire of this sentence bold, then simply Control B, and there we have it bold. If I want to make this next sentence to be in italics, just Control I, and it should work. And by the way, you may be wondering how we get these shortcuts. Most of the time when you hover on these features, you are going to see that. Like for example, if I hover on underline, I see it says Control U. So it means if I select or highlight that text and then underline, Control U, it will underline for me. But now if I want a different type of underlining, that's when I'm going to come to this and do underlining. If you hover over subscript, you're going to see it is Control plus equal sign. So I only need to press Control then equal sign. So that's what I'm going to do to make this letter A here and subscript. So it says Control then equal sign, like that, and then there we go, it is a subscript. If you want to make it a superscript, it is Control then a plus sign. So what we're going to do is, like for example, I want to make this O, this M a superscript, so Control and then a plus sign, it should work. So you realize that equal sign and plus sign are on the same key. So if you want the plus sign, you must hold down the shift key to get that plus sign. So that's it. Very, very simple. If you would like to cut, generally on the computer, if you want to cut, just press Control then X. X for me looks like scissors. So if you want to cut, like you want to use the scissors, very fine if you use Control X. And there we've cut that piece, and now it's on the clipboard. We can transfer it somewhere else, like there, and then I can paste it. If you'd like to paste using the default settings for pasting, just hold Control and then add V. Control V will paste. Something else, if you'd like to copy, for example, I want to copy this text, is just Control C. Very common on Windows, by the way. Control C. Then if I want to paste here, remember Control V. So if I press Control V, I'll paste it there. If you'd like to save this file, then saving is simply Control S. As you get it, Control S, and then it will bring you an option to save it if you had not saved it earlier, or it will save it to the original document if you had this document already saved somewhere. So like if I press Ctrl S, that's something you should always do. Every time you type a little bit, one sentence, two sentences, just press Ctrl Z. Next is the last one. The last bit is to select everything. Now if you want to select everything on this page and in the entire document, selecting the entire document, just say Ctrl A, and there we go, we've selected everything. If you scroll down and up, then you'll find out that we've selected everything. Now just a bonus, this is a bonus. If you want to highlight like a single letter, like I want to highlight this letter I, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Shift and then use arrow key, and depending on the direction, depending on the position of the cursor, so just hold down the Shift, and then now I'm going to use the left arrow key because the cursor is on the right of this I, of this letter E, and then keep pressing down that. Now that is highlighting character by character or letter by letter, if you'd like to say it that way, but not everything here is a letter, so let us just stick to the character. But sometimes you may want to be a little bit quicker and highlight maybe word by word, so just use Ctrl Shift and then use the arrow keys again, and as you can see, I can highlight word by word. Now the same applies when you are highlighting vertically. So if I'm going vertically, what I'm going to do is that if I just hold Shift and then use the top, the up or down arrow, then it is just line by line. But if I use Ctrl then Shift, it will be paragraph by paragraph. As you can see, it will be a little bit quicker if you do it that way. And I think that is it. I'd like to stop there. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. You can like this video and share. Thank you.